Welcome to Blue Monday at Club Freeze and Daiquiris, and we want to thank Dwayne for inviting us and opening the door for us again this evening. Got a lot of things that's happening coming up very shortly here, quick, fast, and we need your help. Next week is March 13th. That is the election day. From what I'm looking at and what we see, is not enough information have gone out to let the people know where they're voting at, their precincts, their districts, with all the changes that's been made. So we need your help. For those of you who are on Facebook, we need you to find out what precinct, what district that you live in, and you can easily do this by going to the Montgomery Election Center. Go on, find out what it is, or give them a call. Once you find out what your precinct is, do the immediate thing and get on your Facebook page and just put it out there for the people that live in your district. This is an important election. It is the election of our president this year, and this is a primary election. We do have a general election. Now, the primary election, some people may not think it's important, but it's the strategy and the message behind it. If you're trying to get a certain person in office, and I'm speaking on Blue Monday, and I say certain person because we're a nonprofit organization, so we cannot endorse any candidate. But if you're trying to get that person in office, it's important for you to get your message out. And in order to get that message out, you have to have a strong number of votes. That's how you get your message out, to say that this is a strong candidate, and we know that this candidate is going to go to the polls, we're going to win. And that message can be derived from a survey done after the votes have taken place. So the number of people that actually go out and vote can help make the determination as to what we're looking at when we look at seeing how many people voted, who's going to go into office. So we all need you to push. Personally, outside of Blue Monday, and I'm saying this, I'm not speaking Blue Monday right now, but personally, Andrea Price is a supporter of President Obama. And that's who I'm pushing for. You all push and choose who you want to. But what I sent out from Andrea Price's page is going to be for him and several other folks that's in the local. But on Blue Monday page, I'm engaging you and trying to get you all to get involved and really go out and help us get the vote out and help us get people to go to the polls. We've done the job at Blue Monday. Every Blue Monday for the last 2 years, what we've done is voter registration drive. We've taken it from the clubs that we were in and also to the different venues that we were invited to. We even went to the last event, which was a huge event. We went to the Valentine's Day concert. WKXN with Roscoe Miller invited us to come out. We went out. We pushed the vote out there. We've done our job in Montgomery, that what we needed to do for Blue Monday. But now it's carrying that message a little bit further. It takes you all and everybody else to go out and push this and to get people to join. That means to your family members, get them to come out to the polls and vote. And you see them sitting at home on the porch because it may be nice that day, get them to come out the door so they can go ahead and vote. Your young folks who turn 18 years old, they should already be registered. When mine turned 18 on November the 25th last year, that's the first thing I did. That was his present to me, was to be registered, a registered voter. So I was able to get him registered. That's your job to do. It's late. What everybody's thinking about doing now with the strategies and trying to get strategies done is late. All of this should have been done last year. If we're trying to do this now, this is late. But besides that point, we still need to get out there and we need to still push this thing and try to get people registered. If the voter registration has ended for this primary race, we'll start back after the election for the general election. So we'll be back on our drive for the general election, because there will be some that are turning 18 years old and some who have not voted. However, the absentee ballots, you have until the 8th of this month, which is Thursday, March 8th. You have until March 8th. If you are going to be out of the county, out of the state, if you're a senior who can't get out to vote, or someone that's going to the hospital, or someone who may work from the hours of 7 o'clock until a.m. until 7 p.m., those people can't get to the polls. So they qualify for absentee ballot access once they register for it, they can vote all the way up until March the 13th through absentee ballots. And once they get registered and fill out the application, they can start go ahead and vote. For those who you know who already did absentee ballots, the voting has already started for them. So all the way up until March the 12th, I'm sorry, March the 12th. So if you know those people, you can go ahead and do it. I put it out on the Facebook page already for Blue Monday, so you can easily access the forms for the application ballot. You can grab that, fill it out on the forms, but you have to walk it to the center. No one else can take the applications for you. You have to actually take it unless you're physically capable of taking it. But you have to bring it there to the election center yourself, which is located on Washington Avenue downtown. Any questions regarding the voter registration and get out the vote? Like I said, it's late in the day now, but we still got great opportunities here to get what we need to get done. And you all can, it's a great access to us with Facebook, with your email addresses, just by going on and sending that information out to people that you know, and let it, especially on the day of and the date of the event. That's a strong push. I'm sure the Democratic Party and the Republican Party, the Tea Party, I'm sure all of them are going to need people to go out and help with driving people to the polls and volunteers. A lot of candidates out here that need some help. You guys can easily give us a call. We got folks that work with different parties. So give us a call and we'll make sure that we get your names out for volunteering. Our job is to get you to the polls so that you can get people to the polls. Yes?
Now, if by chance there is a problem come election day, what should they do?
Okay.
What should we do?
If there is a problem for voting, and when you go to the polls and your name is not on the list, you can vote provisional ballot. You can challenge it. So you can go ahead, they got to let you still vote. So, but if they find that once they send everything in and your name's not there, then the vote doesn't count. So you can challenge it and you can do provisional ballot voting. On the day of election, I know we've been hearing this thing about the ID cards. That officially does not take place until 2014. So now you still can use the same process that you used before. If you have a utility bill, a bank account, something with your name on it that's from a government or job or whatever it is, you can bring that in and you can still vote with that particular information. Make it easy for yourself though. If you got the IDs, bring the IDs on in so you can go ahead and vote. Make it easy for yourself and tell everybody else, make it easy for them too. But other than that, yes, you can still do the same thing. The law has not officially changed as for this election. It will be the same law that it was for the last whatever, how many years that it's been in existence. Any other questions? Okay, Selma to Montgomery Marchers Rally. That is on Sunday. We celebrated the voting rights movement. And we celebrated when the marchers went across Edmonds Pettus Bridge and Bloody Sunday. And that's the reason why we vote. Because people during that time period died for us. They went across and tried to cross that bridge and could not cross that bridge. And because of the challenges that they went through and the deaths that occurred during those time periods is one reason why we should go vote. And not only that, if we think about women, there was a period that was called women's suffrage. And it was a period that women could not vote, had no rights. And when many of those women were also beaten. And this is before the civil rights movement. They were beaten, but they fought for women to have rights. That's why we go out and vote. So if nothing else, you guys think about that. Think about history and what we do and why we do it. And if you want to be in a decision-making process, you can't be in that unless you vote. You cannot be in that decision-making process unless you exercise your rights. Other than that, you're just speaking and just talking about it. Your votes, believe me, it does make a difference. Who we get in office. And the reason why we have what we have right now is because a couple of years back, we didn't do what we needed to do by going out and massively voting like we voted when President Obama was going into office. We allowed messagings from the Tea Party people to come in and build this message, and they were powerful in what they did. And the reason why we know they're powerful because they're sitting in office now. And we have got to form a message for the people and energize the people to get out and vote. Like I said, this is late. It's really late right now. But it's still time. We got the primaries, the general elections is in November. So on March the 8th, from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock on Thursday at St. Jude Educational Institute on West Fairview Avenue, there will be an immigration, children issues, and voting rights rally. If you all can make that rally, please be there. Again, when you see events happening and you see people come in numbers, it sends a strong message out there that you have the support. And these are the changes that we want to see. Changes for our children, changes in the school system so that our kids are getting a quality education. Changes from this House Bill 56 that is causing such a great effect of our brothers and sisters who are people of color that are facing some of the challenges that we face. Yes, they have come into this country in a form or a matter that may not be acceptable, but they're here now. They're working. Some of them will pay taxes and don't mind paying taxes as long as they get it right. And some of them have been paying taxes. They've just been doing it illegal because they use a Social Security number, and believe me, they took it when they paid it. So, and to deny people for medical coverage, taking care of children, or sending them away and separating families together doesn't make any sense to me. We as a people been there before. We may not have experience in this day and time, but our families back then experienced this. And because of theirs and the experiences that they went through, this is why we need to stand with these folks that's in this country now. Because that's what America was built on. I'm preaching now, but I'm going to move on. America was built on immigrants. Okay, Friday, March the 9th at noon at the state capitol. This is all part of, from Sunday, with the, and moving just the marches in the Selma to Montgomery. It's going to be a whole month of activities celebrating this. During the last week in March, I believe on the campus of Alabama State University, they will be making announcements about the Civil Rights Interpretive Center that will be coming there. Those should be some great events. We'll keep you guys posted on exactly what they're going to be doing there. I don't think they're doing a groundbreaking ceremony on that particular one. I think what they're doing with that is pretty much making the official announcement that the Interpretive Center is coming to Alabama State University. So we got a lot going on. Need you guys' support with everything that we're doing. Again, I always go back to education, small business, entrepreneurship. I think this is how we build wealth within our community. We give a quality education to our children, quality education to our college students, and then we build in our community by building businesses. Alabama State University Small Business Development Center is constantly teaching and training and inviting you to come to the center. If you're looking at trying to start a business, we walk you through the process of starting your business plan, from your business plan to getting capital from the SBA, and from the SBA getting capital, getting your business plan, your business started, and if you're trying to get a contract with the government, we can also assist you with that through procurement contracting. So we teach, train, and ready for you to start your business. 2012 is a great year, and we invite you to come see us. It's in the College of Business Administration. It's in room 101. I work there. Would love to have you come in. Just give me a call and let me know. Anything else?
So let you know that we've been going out registering voters to the project areas, and with Obama for America, I have a group that's called West We Can, because we primarily deal with West Montgomery. So I would like for you all to find it on Facebook and help us, because this month after the election we will be going to the housing projects and doing voter education, because it doesn't stop after March 13th. We have to get those who negated to get out to register to vote and to get out to vote March 13th up and at 'em for November the 6th, I believe that is. And if you'll text AL, the letter AL for Alabama to 62262, you'll get updates from Obama for America. So that'll let you know what's all going on in our state. Because there's a lot going on. Spring break's coming up, so we're trying to get in Pensacola to get those who are on vacation, make sure that they're registered to vote. The college students, make sure that they understand that if they're not registered to vote where their college is, their absentee voting is just as important. So it's a lot going on. Tomorrow at 5:30, I'll be at the Governor Square Library branch for the Truth About Charter Schools. This is a bill that the Republicans have created to initiate and implement charter schools in the state of Alabama. To my understanding, I've been speaking with the Alabama education policy person, Emily Schultz, and it should be about 50 schools that they start out with. But Karen Jones is pro-charter school as long as it's equitable for us. So right now, I think we as a community, while they're drafting this bill, need to be with them and make sure they don't sneak anything in that bill. That means you're going to have to pay attention. This is so critical for your children and grandchildren, charter schools, and anything with education, because they will sneak some in there and they will wipe us out of the plan. But if we wait until after the bill passes and then we want to, let's march because they didn't did us wrong. I'm not marching with you. Right now, when they drafting it and we see something that we don't like, we tell them, hey, we sitting at the table with y'all, we're not going for that. So that's what, when you vote, when you register to vote, your elected official should take note of what you feel and how you feel and to make changes. And then you get a mass amount of people. You see how these immigrants, they come together. The Hispanics come together for their freedom. I don't know what happened to the black community, but this is what we have to come back, like the old days, come together. If you for it or against it, be at the table with them and tell them why. And make sure they don't sneak anything in there on us. So, I'm just saying, tomorrow come out at the Governor Square Branch Library at 5:30, and you'll get facts, figures, and information about charter schools. I have the bill there. If you want a copy of the bill or me to email you the draft, give me your email address and I'll email you a copy so you can read through it and pick over things you don't like. And send it to these senators and your representatives, your legislators, and let them know, I don't like this. But if you wait until after the fact, it's too late because the deal is done. So, be proactive. Then you get active. But everything is going on is just, to me, too late. We wait too late for things to occur. So be proactive, get fired up. Let's get this election so Karen, not Blue Monday or my organization, and the Democrats can take these houses back that we lost. So we need your vote, we need your support, we need you on the ground work. This is a grassroots movement again. We need your support. Thank you. No.
On these judicial races, remember those races are county-wide. If you live in the county, you can vote. And on the Democratic side, you have delegates, and these are delegates that come to the National Convention, and they're part of the process where the presidential nominee is selected. You can select up to 4 male delegates and up to 4 female delegates. Remember that you don't have to choose one if you don't want to.
Okay, now I'm gonna say one other thing. Karen put some things about charter schools, and she's a proponent, and I'm completely against charter schools for the state of Alabama. And the only reason I'm going to say this is because I've done a lot of study on this, and we're actually going to take this on with the state PTA. And the reason why we're just a little against it is because, public schools is what I really support, and get out there, and quality education is what I really support. And charter schools across the country in some states have done a great job with charter schools. And so for that reason, we look at charter schools and we say charter schools are good. However, in the state of Alabama, we've done some drastic changes in our state, where we've closed, and not just in Montgomery, we've closed a lot of schools across the state. And we closed those schools based on the funding that we did not have. And that was the reason why we closed the schools. The charter schools that they're trying to open, the 50, and I believe it's probably in about 6 counties, that they want to put one charter school in each one, and Montgomery is inclusive in that. It's going to take from the school system that we already got a low funding from, that's coming from federal low, that's coming from the state low, going into the local units, that funding. It's going to take $200 million from those funds to develop the charter school system. Each child that's in Montgomery County School and across the state gets $7,500 allocated to them individually. That it covers whatever that particular child needs to do in the school. That $7,500 will come out of the traditional schools and go into the charter school programs. All the funds that support them. What charter schools do not have to do, they don't have to provide transportation nor supportive services. They only required to have 25% of students that are considered at risk and 5% of students that's considered special needs students. Now the system of charters is set up to address the students that are at risk. If you pull the charter schools in a certain area where the kids have got to use transportation to drive to get on a bus, and the charter schools decide that they don't want to have transportation because they got to find the funding to do it. If they decide we're not going to have this, who's going to fill the schools up? It's not going to be the kids that really could go there because the parents could transport them there, may not have the transportation to get there. At that point, wherever that charter school is located at, the kids that's in that surrounding district or that surrounding area, the door is wide open for them to go to the school. So who's going to fill the charter schools is my question. Is it going to be the kids that they're trying to pull into the charter schools, the ones that's at risk, or is it going to be those ones that's probably that maybe because they're close in those affluent communities can drive their kids to school? Is it going to be those kids? So who's going to be in the charter schools? I have a very, very strong concern about that in the state of Alabama. And again, as I said before, if you take $200 million out of the public school system, you're also creating now another budget shortfall. What happens to the kids and the programs that's already set up? Because now you're pulling money into the schools. Here's the thing. If charter schools cannot, they have to, the money that travels with the students, if they also have to, because they are a private organization that's run by an educational management group that is not attached to the school, it's a complete different group that is funded from 3% from the money that it collects from the students. Not governed by the state. It's a complete entity. They build a strategy plan, so they're taking money for the schools. If the charter schools cannot raise the money and cannot raise the funding, and they have to raise it through grants and also corporate and companies, and if those private companies who don't have a habit now of donating to our schools, which they don't, what makes you think they're going to donate as much as they need to those particular schools? If they don't donate, here's the deal. Charter schools still have a debt that has to be paid. You know where that money, in the bill, if you read the proposal, the money says that the state of Alabama still has to pay the debt for that charter schools. That means the $200 million that went to the schools for those children that's in the school system, they also going to get additional money that's going to come through the educational fund. Why do you think they're trying to transfer money over to the general fund from the educational trust fund budget? It's because they're trying to cover the cost of what shortfalls that might occur from the charter trust fund to where it needs to be to cover the cost of the kids that's in school now. We've lost teachers, we've closed schools. We've done that part to try to help this shortfall in the budget. But to create a new system, because that's what it's doing, creating a new school system. How do you justify that? Creating a new system where you cut money and cut funds from. The magnet school program, the magnet school, I'm sorry, I'm gonna end this in a second.
And the International Baccalaureate, don't be fooled, those are non-profit organizations. To the schools have to pay $10,400 just to have the International Baccalaureate program.
And they get some grant money for those, but it's a program, it's not a whole school system. So I'm really okay with that program. But the magnet schools, the IB programs, pre-K programs, advanced placement classes from the middle and the high schools and the middle schools they just started, those are all great programs. If those companies would just fund the program that's already in place and then bring back the co-op programs that we used to have that the kids was, bring those back, and then we'll have a great school system. I'm off my soapbox. Y'all have a good evening, and we will see you all at Club G's.
Thank you all so much for coming out to Blue Monday.
Win the lottery.